welcome to Afterwards. Okay. Let's see what you need to know. What just slid out? Full moon. Full moon. Okay. So we're drawing something in. What do I need to know? Lilith. Okay, so what's getting ready to happen? The upcoming full moon could be the upcoming full moon and or the actual representation of what the full moon means. Ninth house. Okay, powerful, learner, higher education, Sagittarius. Okay, that's all I need to know. Uranus, community, innovation, eccentricity. That's what I'm hearing. Something about being eccentric. So, I don't know. Maybe it's something you know that's eccentric. Family. Oh, I had a message about this morning. I meditate, especially on days where, like, the day after, like, waits, because I have something that really needs to heal, and it is taking its piss poor ass time. Not for you to know about, right? But maybe those two go together, right? Like, I'm saying that for a reason, right? So I'm saying there's something that needs to heal and it's piss poor. And so I'm not sure what the family dynamic is, but maybe you're treated in a piss poor ass manner, and or there is something eccentric about the family that you grew up in, right? There's a expressed odd behavior within the family dynamics, right? Because we had Uranus prior to this, which was community, and or you were, one of your parents could be an Aquarius, right? And so maybe they had an unorthodox style in raising you. Nonetheless, the fourth house is also affiliated with lineage, right? And emotions, right? And so we're talking about emotions and lineage and Aquarius. And so I'm understanding that the impression somehow is that you have a mother who was cold, right? Because I got oddities. Eccentricity was the word that popped up, right? For something to be eccentric, it's definitely different. Like, you can't help but notice eccentric people and or eccentric behaviors, right? Something being odd, right? And then before that, we had ninth house, which was Sagittarius, which is affiliated with, I mean, you know, Sagittarius are considered the wise sage, right? So I don't know if there's conversations around the way that you were raised, if there was wisdom in that because of how unorthodox it was, and or if it led you to be where you are today with the gifts that you display. Why am I saying the gifts that you display? Because I have a Lilith, right? Look in the story on your own, but Lilith is also affiliated with the moon, right? But that's like a femme fatale, right? A female who can embrace my new favorite subject, dark triad traits, right? So a female who probably has some level of charm to her in her childhood and or displayed dark triad traits in childhood, right? So someone who's aware of manipulation. So you were raised in a manipulative household, perhaps, right? Or someone in the household manipulated you in some way. Why am I saying that? Because I got this full moon, right? Something's coming full circle now. Narcissistic abuse. I have an image of a little girl trying to speak and a mother slapping her in the mouth, saying no one wants to hear that, right? I could relate to that shit. Because some people, they just think they know a lot, and then it turns out it's like, your insecurities are going to fucking kill me. I'm not sure why you think that you need to harm me to maintain you, but that needs to stop, right? So whatever's being illuminated, it's almost like your power comes from the roots of your childhood. Your wisdom, your know-how comes from the depth of your traumas in childhood. Ooh, I did not expect to channel that. I don't know who you are, I don't know where you are, but I think maybe if you haven't gotten help, it's probably time. The mother, I'm getting strongly, this is a mother. I told you, every time I get Cancer, I always think, you know, I don't want to think that there are things, but for some, there are things that are unaddressed from childhood that are quite powerful, like that have transformed you and how you show up and how you're even situated in the family dynamic, okay? There are some things you cannot ignore. It would not behoove you. It doesn't add to you to do that. I want to look up full moon. You have reached, I said it. You have reached full illumination with this phase, and everything you have been working towards reaches the climax. This is where you realize that the journey is only half over. What goes up must also come down. The positive cannot survive without the negative. That is just a fact of life. The plant you grew will soon begin its decay and subsequent death, and this is okay. This is all part of its purpose. Seeing and acknowledging our faults is the best thing we can do for our development. While it can hurt when we see our shortcomings, acknowledging them takes away their power. Keyword, clarity. So I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are. I had that message this morning when I was meditating, and it came out in these cards. So you are a force to be reckoned with because you learned hard lessons when you were young, right? You learned to keep your mouth shut because there was someone who went out of their way to ensure that you did, okay? So some of you have been protecting narcissistic family members your entire life. It's time to let that out, to let that go, to acknowledge that you don't deserve to be hurt, that your dynamics when it comes to other people are slightly fucked up because of how you were raised, right? The intelligence that you've gained along the way is expanding your mind because you knew that something wasn't correct in that way. When I say correct in that way, I'm meaning like recognizing that there's something off, the eccentricities about your family dynamic, right? And now it comes full circle. There's nothing to hide anymore. And for those who have been hiding for a while, the truth will be illuminated. Like, it is what it is. It's not negative. It's not positive. It's just part of the story. If you choose to move forward, understand that like there are some things that have to be addressed for deeper levels of healing. And there are some things that require boundaries, significant ones, for deeper levels of elevation. So if you've ascended your childhood traumas, congratulations to you. It's not easy to have complex post-traumatic stress disorder, but it does happen. And it does happen at the hands of family members. It does happen at the hands of women who birth children to keep men and don't want to raise the child appropriately. It happens. It does happen when the only example a person have is that of emotional, physical, and mental abuse, and they understand that they will not be shrunken or bullied because that's not the life that they choose to live. I also get that the reason you are as powerful as you are is because you're the truth teller. Truth tellers are a tricky role to have in those type of family systems and dynamics. And anyone willing to come for you, you built a foundation on addressing your traumas. You might be in higher education. Only because I see the Sagittarius, and as I said before, I can relate, right? There's a way that you heal things. The more you know, the more you grow, right? In addition to that, it's time for you to find your new community, a place where you feel safe, where safety is offered consistently, not occasionally. So this is someone actually learning how to have a secure attachment style to others by actually practicing what it means to be healthy emotionally. I'm sorry you went through that, but I'm glad you survived it. Remember, not every therapist is a healer, not every healer is a clinician, and not every clinician will minister to your soul. You can book your session at tactfuldisruption.com.